Hi everyone, welcome back to MommyTalkShow.com. You've met our moms. You've got a chance to see some of the artwork here at Five Continents, which is our location sponsor. But right now we want to talk to the moms who all own their own businesses and ask them, are you living your dream job? The job you have right now, is it all that you dreamed it would be? Is it what you thought you would be doing? Judith, what's your answer?
I think that it is, but I also think that when you start your own business, you have to be really clear about what your own parameters are. I didn't go into business to make $100 million a year or to work 40 hours a day. I went into business to be at home with my daughter and to have the time to be a wife and a mom and have intellectual engagement as well. So I think I was talking with somebody the other day about how complicated that is, not to necessarily want to be the master of the universe or the guru of all things, but to take a manageable look at what you can do. How many clients can I have? I can probably manage 15 without jumping out the window and feeling like I don't have time to brush my teeth or take my daughter to school. And that, in the beginning, I've only been in business now for 6 months, has been really tricky, figuring out, do I want to be on the phone with clients at 11 o'clock? And I was last night with someone from Japan, and I hung up the phone. I'm like, I'm exhausted. So how do I manage the fact that I want to be able to work with this young woman, but I also want it to be fresh for the weekend ahead? And it's really a balancing act. And what this friend of mine said to me was, you have to set your own guidelines for what you see as success. It's no one else's definition. And the money, for me, is not really part of the equation. It's very much, can I give good advice to these kids? Can I work with their families? And at the end of the day, am I satisfied with the kind of interactions we've had? So I guess, in response to your question, it's a dream job, but it also is very much my dream. It's not sort of the abstract, how is this supposed to look?
Right. I think I'm along the same guidelines as you. It's kind of like, since I stopped being a TV news anchor, I kind of repurposed my skills and came up with Mommy Talk Show. The same way you have all this experience in education, you're like, I can consult and do this as my business. And I think that's something that a lot of moms are starting to do. I do connect with some mommy bloggers online since I'm very, very new to blogging. But it seems like everyone is finding a way to, okay, this is what I used to do. How can I tweak it so that I can still stay at home and kind of be fresh and new?
And it has to work for you.
Right.
You can't compare yourself. If I look at other consultants in the field and how many clients they have and what they're billing, it could make you crazy, because that's not, and it can't be my paradigm. So I think that for you, doing this show is wonderful, because obviously you have this great talent. You've repurposed it. You're using it to bring other women into the conversation and showcase great places around Atlanta. You get to work with your husband, which is total bonus. So I think that overall, it's a really interesting way for moms to figure out that they can be in the workforce full time. They can do other things on the side creatively that they really care about, and be with their families.
But Adrienne, I think you have even more of a challenge, because you work full time and then your business is, outside of that. I don't want to say it's part time, but you're kind of doing both. How do you manage, and is it what you thought it would be?
Gigi and I were talking before the show got started, and we were recognizing the fact that it is hard to devote a lot of time to my event planning business when I do work full time. And my husband has his own business. And so there's this juggling act that goes on where, there's only so many hours in the day. Our daughter is number one. And for me, that's the most important thing. Even though I work full time, when I'm off the clock, I'm off the clock, and I try to stick to strict, times that I'm there, etc., so that I can go home and be with her. And when it comes time for my event planning, I have to be selective about what events and how many we're going to take on, because I can't do it all. I don't have enough time for it. And so I'd rather focus on one project at a time and carry that through the end to be sure that it's a success and that it's what the client wants, rather than trying to say yes to everyone and doing too much knowing that I can't produce it. And so it's really just a balancing act. I started the business because I just think that I'm good at the details, the small things. And to be able to find a place where you fit in and you can use those skills has been amazing. And so I think it is what I thought it would be. I think that there's still more room for it to grow. And so I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping once my daughter gets older, I'll have more time to really put into it and devote more time to that and less time working full time. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
And so it's just a balancing act.
Gigi, what's your experience?
I think it's a working process. I think it's a process. I'm very happy to do what I'm doing. I want to say yes. It's like a dream job. I can use all my creative skills. I get to, work with my country, stay in touch with traditional activities we all do. All my family is to do. My mom is an artisan too. I feel that I am actively supporting people in my country that need the help while at the same time bringing a great product, that's fair to the producer and to the consumer. I love what I do. It's a lot of work. I would never be able to wake up at 5 because I go to bed at 1 because I work at nights. But I do love what I do. I do love what I do.
Okay, that's wonderful. And like I said, it's just different interpretations of how to manage it. Because doing work, husband, children, all this stuff, 2 jobs in your case, it's really, really, really overwhelming. So you are watching MommyTalkShow.com. You're hearing from lots of great moms. You're going to be hearing more about 5 Continents Gallery here in Buckhead when we come back.